All right, here we are with another AoM Classics. It's been a long time since we've done an AoM Classic, probably like a year and a half. So we're back with an AoM Classic session. We'll see how many um, games we watch. Maybe one, maybe two. And we are looking at, as requested, a game. Not really requested, but somebody saw the name Nigam in my list of old recorded games and wanted to watch. I remembered Nigam. So we're watching Nigam versus KOA Warrior. It's a Poseidon mirror on Highland. Probably a game from 2008, 2009 is my guess. So we're looking at the old patch maps. We're also looking at Highland, which isn't really a bad map, but it just had some great potentials for some absolute screw jobs on this match. There were, especially back then, if you played against Zeus, you might as well probably just resign right away because Zeus would just bolt your first villager or Ulthark, and then the scout plus villager that went forward would then attack your next one. So you would have to like send multiple units up here just to get a dock on the water. And like for Norse, who couldn't even Alt S your starting Ulthark, it was impossible. You could not win. Um, Set 2 was pretty oppressive on this map as well. Yes, you can name the pharaoh. Just put in your request, and I will add that in later on. So the other thing on this kind of era, you're talking 2008, 2009. Even though the game had been out by a handful of years at this point, you're still working with builds that maybe aren't the greatest, or like just overall gameplay that maybe isn't very smooth. Like we could see like this build here isn't what players would do anymore on like a land slash water map. It's pretty heavy on the food. Not a lot of wood right now for Nigam. Um, so really, ooh, we got a little bit of early bill fighting here. So kind of slow on the boat spam and everything. Oh boy, if he had where's his scout? Yeah, you gotta have your scout up here. You could get in on this and probably would have killed the villager. But really big here to stop Nigam from getting on this water, but we gotta watch out. These bears too were another thing, depending on where they spawned. just, just could end a game at the 1 minute mark. Because, yeah, you would get a villager that's half dead and then, get attacked. And, oh, we got a forward temple. I wonder if we're going to see, like, a pestilence here. Double villagers come down. Hell's Ravage, what's more pathetic? I know every player I count on that list, or I remember every game. You were, Hells, you were one of the players that actually reviewed Game of the Week or Game of the Month or whatever it was at some point, right? So yeah, you probably would have watched most of these games at some point. Thundercloud Shawl. I would be interested to see what kind of age ups we're getting. Like we're probably going to see some really slow age ups here because it's kind of what would happen. But yeah, look at this bear. Like you can't build a dock here on this side of the water. Imagine that bear were like positioned here, and this would be completely stopped. One thing that players always were frustrated against, which was kind of unnecessary, is having to guess where the water is, because as you can see, this water is better than this water. We've only got 2 packs of fish. And players would kind of complain about where to build your dock, like what's better. But actually what you can do through the fog of war is just create like a house, and where the house sinks into the land, you can know that that's where the water. So the smart players at the beginning would actually just path their villager up here and then quick check and see where the water was spawned. So I would, do this and see, well, this is the long water. I'm moving up here. Down here, I'm seeing, oh, nope, that's just a small water, so I would never go down here. So it was very important actually on Highland, but not a lot of players knew it. Has ever been considered remove random wild animals? So it was changed on a few maps. We do have the Cyclops coming in and the Pestilence Rush, as he's now building all three of his docks right next to each other. Some of the maps have had the animals moved so that they aren't going to attack by water. That's like the Anatolia thing. So that the wolves aren't by the edge of the water anymore. Removing them completely, that's never really been discussed. I feel like, and I would be of this mindset, that the wild animals that attack are kind of important in regards to preventing it to being so easily walled. Because walls are super strong. And if the animals don't attack, it would be so easy to just send a villager and just wall everywhere. And sometimes you can because that's where the animals spawn. But yeah, I like the wild animals attacking. I think there's a few good things about it. And namely, the walling. You have to spend APM to micro vills. Yes, I don't have a problem with that. I think that is good. It should not be a gimme when it comes to walling off the map. So we're gonna have to find out why in the world this game became a game of the week, as we've got. Oh, he's trying to, yeah, just power down the dock here. That's worth it. But why wouldn't you use Pestilence earlier, right? Because these two boats here really are pretty frustrating. As we have ceasefire just to get some more docks up. Very interesting. Very interesting to use your ceasefire just to get another dock up. I don't know about it, but why not? The one thing that Nigam can be happy about is that he's left alone down here. It was always worth it to build a dock. As the opponent, like Warrior here, should build a dock here. Because simply building a dock will force more resources out in defense than even if you just build the dock and don't actually make anything. So it's always good to build a dock on a water spot. Same thing for like Anatolia, which you still play now, is you shouldn't ever just let one player just get one side of the water for free. It's always build something. Oh, he's gonna get these villagers, isn't he? Nice movement here to be ready right at the end of the ceasefire. Loses 2 villagers, and I don't know if the ceasefire is going to be worth it. I mean, we're just pumping boats here, but that does then give Warrior the opportunity to come in with all of his cavalry. And we'll see from here. We've got a little centaur rush here with a couple of these guys. Don't want to lose. There's no hero here, so if he actually like plan this out a little bit better, could kill a few. Well, he's gonna kill a few bills. It's one anyway, and there's a few weak ones he could get as well. And we just got the classic, I will send my Hippocon in to raid, and then they will die, because there's buildings. So, oh wow, the boat spam here. See, Warrior actually doesn't have enough docks. Only 2 docks. And now he's pushed off the water at the expense of making a raiding group of Hippocon, but these guys aren't doing anything. So that's where when you're making an army, as we have here, you have to question, are you going to get value out of the army? In which case, if you're not going to get value out of it, don't make it, because it's doing you nothing. You know, all these resources here. What we got? 8, 10, 11 Hippocon? It's a lot of resources that so far really haven't done him anything. And we finally have the centaur cleared up. And he's gonna have to like get value. Like, he's made all these resources and he's attacking houses. Like, what's the point? Yeah, you're actually killing these houses is better for Nigam, because then he gets 2 militia out. for the expense of 40 food or 40 wood. How come you didn't ask if I'm gonna go full try hard and retold? Maybe I gotta channel 2005 Chrono JJ and you'll see me in Spain, huh? Yeah, so it looks like he's maybe trying for like a gold block here by Warrior, but that might be hard to do with where all the gold mines are. They're kind of all over the place. Highlight was one of those maps. Yeah, here we go. Is that you can get a large gold mine in your base. In fact, this gold mine can spawn closer than this one. Which it's pretty close. But yeah, this one could actually spawn like as close as this. It was kind of an issue with some of the early ESO maps, is that this large gold mine didn't really have the proper parameters, and yeah, it could just land right in your base. There are a few maps that could do that. I think Watering Hole was one, Marsh was another one. So yeah, here we are. Full Hippocon. Full Hippocon. No, this is an old recorded game. I tricked you. We're watching what I refer to as kind of the AoM classics, where we watch some old recorded games, make fun of how bad the old experts were, and wonder why, for example, Warrior is taking this terrible fight and losing all of these Hippocon that he spent so many resources building. And see, like nowadays, in like a map like this, you would see town centers getting grabbed. Maybe like a one town center, semi-quick, like heroic. But, is that Ghostlake? I didn't know that. I maybe knew that at some point, but certainly not now. But like, this is where I'm talking, like, you know, if like a player from today with the game knowledge that the players then or here did not have, it just came in and like played the way you should play the game, like, would be so good. These are the two top players from this era, and you can see they're just kind of doing kind of nonsensical game plans, where, you know, just a decent player came in and did like what you're supposed to do, like would instantly be like a top player. You know, there's so much, you know, if we could go back in time, I would go back in time to 2004, 2005 and win the GGL tournaments. But I can't. Ah, well. A little raid here by Nigam. Getting in, nope. Trying to cut him off. They could hide in the tower here. Could hide in the tower, but they don't want to. Oh man! And is he gonna let this one just live? Negan's thinking like, "Yeah, that was so bad. I'll let this villager live because I felt bad for you." And now we're going to see that this town center is getting grabbed, and Nigam can take this fight. He's got medium Hippocon against unupgraded Hippocon. Got a little bit of a raid here, but really this doesn't matter. Couple vills. Oh, we do have medium now for both. These villagers were looking for a gold mine. There, they found it. Nice to pull these away, and yep, getting in. Defender's advantage should let this town center end up being built, but a lot of delay here. Yeah, you're right, Matt Hells. The complete random part of the map spawn was, what are we doing? Change things up a bit, but a map like this, you could kind of do the same thing most time, as long as you didn't, yeah, get absolutely massacred by bears at the beginning. You could kind of have a pretty set gameplay here. But yeah, so far Warrior, who is Ghostlake, not really getting much value out of his Hippocon. He's just losing him a lot. Is this guy gonna die now? We let him live earlier. Are we gonna let him live? Just kill, please kill him. He gets to live again. Like, he legit saw him and just ran right past him, and now it's just fighting Hippocon versus Hippocon. I would say, too, what a lot of players did back in these days is a lot of military versus military fights, whereas now most players try to avoid the military confrontations if they can and just hit villagers. A lot more bloodthirsty back then. But it's not really the right way to play, because just dying military to military doesn't necessarily give you an advantage unless like you absolutely win the fight. The better thing to do would be to try to hit the villagers, not take damage, and then just basically win by killing villagers, which is kind of what you see a little bit more now. Hello, farm. Kvath, oh yeah, you did ask me on Discord if yeah. The reality is, I don't have the time, or even the energy, I think, to try hard. You know, I might give it like a little go, like to see if I can be decent, but certainly I would not have the time to keep up with the players that do have the time. So, you know, it's one of those things where I'm just gonna have to be content to be decent and just enjoy the game, because the thing is for me, is that trying hard, I really don't have a lot of fun trying hard unless it's like a tournament. Like if a tournament, you know, I'll try my best. I'll actually think about, you know, try to get a strategy ahead of time and maybe have to practice a little bit, but I don't have a ton of time to practice. But like my casual games, I just don't enjoy like trying hard. It's just too much work. I just want to sit and have fun. And do we have crenellations? No, but we've still got a ton of damage. Somebody did ask earlier, why don't people get crenellations against Egyptian? I feel like most players get crenellations now fairly early. Now, crenellations doesn't give bonuses to chariots, but it does allow, and actually, outside of a raw chariot, you don't even need crenellations to be able to hit chariots. They only have 5 speed. Ooh, we're gonna have a bit of a raid here, but yeah, he should be able to defend. Oh, the pathing. The pathing, the leg. But now he finally decides to attack. He took quite a bit of extra damage there at the beginning. Who's texting me? Kind of a slow game here. Not a whole lot. Ryfang, what's up, man? Yeah, you're right too, Ryfang. You do bring that up. Walls weren't super common back then either. And what's crazy is walls were so strong. Like, walls got pretty heavily nerfed in all of the fan patches. Quite a bit. And we still see a ton of wall use now. Walls were so much better back then. They built faster. They had more hit points. I think of the main thing, but yeah, they built super quick. Oh, they also repaired at insane speeds as well. It would be like with a repairing villager, almost impossible to get through with just a regular like a melee army. You couldn't get through. I don't even know if the Egyptians really made as many walls as they did now. We did see Nigam age up, which is actually, in a Poseidon mirror, aging up first to heroic age is big, because then you get the Prodromos, which absolutely rock. And Hippocon, of course. But, well, you know, I guess you're right a little bit. Certainly the other matchups didn't. Like, think of like how often like Norse wall off the map with like their Ulfsarks and stuff now. Like back then, they would almost never wall off. The Norse would, because you Norse were supposed to be aggressive. We aren't gonna wall off, and part of that mindset kind of did lead into the Norse just getting absolutely abused all the time because they wouldn't they wouldn't wall off. Yeah, this is a pretty slow pace. We've been watching Warrior here with his very fine macro. He had a good 2001. Oh, we're talking about how we don't wall, and now we've got a wall here. I don't know why he's walling like this when he could just like go from here, but he's got a lot of resources, but not the right ones. Nigam a little bit better with his macro. Will be aging up to a heroic age here pretty soon. This is a very defensive map with where the town center spawned. Missing a little bit of eco upgrades. Highland, and really not even just Highland, but all maps back then, the town centers, the forward town center could spawn like really far forward, to the point where it would be legit closer to the opponent than yourself. Like, so these town centers, this forward one here, could like have spawned like way down here, but it didn't. This is actually a very defensive spawn that we've got going here. But certainly so far, if we were to say which player has played this game better, obviously it's been Nigam. He's played pretty decently, not taken too many bad fights, and the score shows he's quite a bit ahead. Grab town center a little bit sooner. It's still, you know, we still got this 2,700 gold in the bank. So him and Warrior are both kind of banking resources. This is also another thing that was pretty standard. Just the overall pace of the game was a little bit slower. And what I mean by that is you would have players stacking up resources and just not using them. Which resulted in, you know, these slower paced games where you know, you're just got tons of resources, but you're not doing anything with them. I mean, he's got 5,000 resources in the bank. We're not even at full pop. Not really spreading across the map a whole lot. And yeah, as Ryfing has said, a Greek would be faster to Mythic Age. I mean, we're looking at 21-minute Mythic Ages, which isn't terribly slow, but they really didn't fight a whole lot. So it's just really, really slow. We also have an immediate Titan as well. This is also something you don't really see anymore. Titans were... Players didn't know how to compete against Titans back then, and because kind of goes in line with what I was saying about how much slower paced the games were. You know, players, the aggression just wasn't there. Like, players couldn't attack as well, so they couldn't really abuse or, you know, punish the early Titans. Whereas, like, nowadays, if somebody tries to kind of go up quick and get a Titan quick, the other opponent will take advantage of that by like taking all over the map and getting the opponent down to like 2 town centers, and then being able to compete against a Titan, or maybe even just winning it flat out. Because a Titan takes a ton of resources, but yeah, this is not so much going on, Hell's Ravage. I don't know why you said this was a game of the month here. Must have been a slim pickings for the week. What do we have? Like, there's no forward building going on. We've got just a few random archery ranges in the middle of the map. With these units suiciding themselves to the town center. And Warrior is aging up Artemis because he really wants to kill this Titan gate, but he's not going to. Oh, you weren't? I thought you were. I thought you were a reviewer, didn't you? Must have gotten a fight with somebody back then, huh? I'm going to fast forward a little bit here because there's not much going on. I don't really see how Warrior's going to win this game here. He's way behind in score. Doesn't have much going for him. He thinks he's going to use Earthquake to kill this Titan. Let's have a guess here. So we can see all these buildings. So the Titan Gate is at 8,500 hit points. It'll be a little bit more before the earthquake comes through. How many hit points is this going to get down to? I'm going to say it will get down to 6,000 is my guess. I don't know if anybody in the chat has a guess. I'm saying 6,000 is what this is going to get down to. So it'll do about 3,000 worth of HP. 35%. Yeah. So you could figure by the time earthquake comes in, we're going to be at about 9,000. I'm saying 6 grand. 4K? Wow. You think 4,500? Hells is just saying it's going to go down to 35%. I don't think it's going to be. Let's see. 8,500. We were all way wrong. It only got down by like 1,000. And then he just resigns. What kind of a game was this? It did 1,000 damage to the Titan Gate. We all were wrong. This was not a classic at all. This game sucked. Who picked this game? That's it. Well, not much of a game here. Sorry to say, Nigam just way ahead. Very uninspiring gameplay. Let's go back to our archives here. So this game we watched, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we watched this one. Oh, I have it open. Let's try another one. Surely there has to be a better one. This is our list here. We got some team games. 1v1s. Yeah, how many Smurfs did you have like in this time frame, Hells? Like we talking like upwards of like 20? Do you want a 2v2? 1v1? I don't want a Highland one. Otherwise, some of the names of these accounts are just bonkers. Otherwise, just throw in a number and we'll pick that one. How many have we watched so far? 46. Yeah, somebody give me a number. You were KS Cosmo? Who is Skittles? We got a Cosmo versus Skittles game here. Who is ATB Skittles? Did he have other accounts too? I feel like I remember Skittles. Maybe that was his main account. Man. How many we got? 185. So let's just do this. Random number picker. Through 185. Here we go. Generate. We're going to go with 83. So let's get the 83rd recorded game here. And 1, 2, 3. Easiest best god versus Sensuy on Oasis. Oh, Schism, you're too late. The randomizer already picked. We can't go back now. Who is easiest best god? Easiest best god versus Sensuy on Oasis. All right. Game number 2 of our classic. Sorry, Schism, you got outpicked by the random number generator. But I appreciate you being here. Oh, this is Magyar. You got your wish. The random number generator teamed up with Schism to give us a Magyar game. Look at that. So Magyar versus Sensuy. Magyar with Isis. Isis versus Uranus. Wow. Old school Hell or old school Sensuy. Ranos versus Magyar's Isis. Isis was broken. Did I ever talk to Spoeft? I did. I used to play Spoeft once in a while when I would come back. Um, but I feel like partially, and Schism is kind of referencing it, the reason Isis was so broken back then was because players didn't know how to play. Like Ancestors Eclipse, and you're right, would just absolutely hammer players for no reason. One of the biggest problems that people had playing against ISIS was that nobody would go aggressive. Everybody would just happily let the ISIS player hunt until like 6 minutes. And nobody would age up fast. That was especially bad when I played. And I also couldn't beat ISIS. Couldn't figure it out. Nobody could figure it out. But it was because everybody advanced so slowly. Like a 5:15, 5:30 would pretty standard back then, except for the Crush. And the Crush was also super strong back then too. But again, part of it was because players just their builds were so bad. Nobody would advance quickly. Which some of it was because of the maps. Sometimes there were maps that you just could not win against the Crush because the maps were so bad. Like the map generation was completely awful sometimes. Our Pharaoh is so I've got this little thing where you can pick a Pharaoh to get your name randomly, the name you pick randomly into the name pool, and the Pharaoh is Chronosaurus Rex. That's a nice name. Ben Jammin. Yes. Takes me back to my childhood too, and here I am still playing it, so I'm still a kid. He loses a Oracle there. Aranos was very good back then, but again, most players didn't know how to play Aranos very good. But like for example, this map here. This is where some of these old maps could be super screwy. It's actually not too bad. But like his forward hunt is pretty far forward here. Yes, Cyclone played Aranos. Like if the Aranos player here went for like a 4 minute, which is pretty easy to do every map. Actually, that's what he's doing. So Sensuy is doing the right strategy here, going up with a 4 minute. He can get on this hunt and push the Isis off of hunt super early. Almost it would be worth it for him, but he lost an Oracle to do an Oracle push on this hunt pack here. I'm assuming he knows or thinks that Magyar went up here. Ryfig's mentioning the gold. Yeah, the gold would be pretty tough. Like, golds are pretty aggressive too. Generally you'd get, at least on Oasis, a decently close gold mine. But again, it's so random. Like, this gold mine could be super close, or they could all be super far. See, this one's not too bad. It's just super forward. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen... Well, Sensuy doesn't know. He made an extra Oracle to push. But he's over here. He knows this hunt is here. Like, what is he doing? He could be winning this game right now if these units were on the hunt. And Sensuy was like a top Aranos player, but just think of the decision making behind this. I mean, you have to know the Isis is here. I mean, you can even see through Fog of War, these giraffes are dead. And instead, what is he doing? He's pointlessly attacking towers and houses, when all of this could be on this hunt right here. And he would likely win the game because he also has the unnerved shockwave, which would keep these units idle for like 3-4 seconds after shockwave. And now he gets absolutely no value. And now he wants to come up here to the hunt, realizing his mistake. But there was absolutely no reason to come down here to begin with. Like, it makes no sense. And so these villagers are going to get away. He uses shockwave to kill nothing. Interesting shockwave usage there. Watch out for the Antibite. Don't lose your Antibite. Oh, don't lose it. You can't just... There he goes. He's got it. He's got it. But yeah, this was a game that Sensuy legit probably could have just won straight out at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But just poor decision making. And Magyar gets away with a lot more hunt than he should have. And Magyar will do... What's he going to do? It looks like he wants to age up, but very, very interesting to go Anubis here. Definitely not the standard in this matchup at all. He's going Anubis. He's like rushing his armory, even though he's not going to be aging up soon, so there's no point to have all of them building on it. Anybody looking for... You know, the anybody can raid a little bit and be annoying, but a couple Hero Murmillo will stop that. Nice to have the Oracle kind of placed back here and ready. And see, nowadays, and we'll see if Sensuy does this, I think without the threat of Ancestor's Eclipse, Sensuy should just be grabbing 2 town centers right now. And getting the going aged up. Pre-Siege, you think. But Pre-Siege without the Eclipse isn't super good. But yeah, Sensuy should stop with all the armory production. Because at this point, he's not going to get any more value out of the army. Looks like that's what he's doing. He is grabbing a town center. So, you know, other than his mistake not getting this this hunt here, his actual game plan is pretty standard now to like a current meta. And I think the difference you can see is, I mean, this game was, you know, halfway down our list. So this is more of probably like a 2012 or 13 game. Which just in the 4 years since that the first game we watched, you can see that the meta, at least for the Uranos player here, it's pretty decent so far. Yeah, so Schism, this is a spawn that would not happen anymore. The maps, and it would depend on map. Each map was a little bit different, but in the script, there were a few maps that would have ultra defensive spawns, and then like just wildly random spawns where the town center could be on the wrong side of the map. We've got here, and it would be like a random % chance of which type it would choose. So yeah, here we've got the ultra defensive spawn, which this doesn't happen anymore because this just... Yeah, we are seeing Pre-Siege, aren't we? It just doesn't result in super... Like, if the game goes long and it stalemates, there's just nowhere to attack. It would take forever to even get to a town center, so it's not a super great spawn here. I'm a little bit surprised that Sensuy never got this hunt here. But yeah, we've got Pre-Siege, it looks like. No. So a lot of heroes, but now we're actually building Amygdala. So, not Pre-Siege. Kind of like it wants to be Pre-Siege, but it's not quite Pre-Siege. And now we're making some camels. Probably wanting to get a siege tower out. 2 town centers here. Sensuy probably could just stay at 2 town centers and be alright. A little heavy on the Terma. But actually it's not bad because there's some chariots in the army. He's checking this gold mine. Good idea. Yeah, this strat that Magyar's doing shouldn't work. I like this little ghost build that helped him absolutely nothing. Lost a few villagers here. And yeah, this match up here with the way the map is, like ISIS really shouldn't have a chance or much of one outside of a timing push Ancestor's Eclipse chance. But other than that, you shouldn't have much of a chance. Sensuy, seeing what's going on here, should be grabbing another town center because this aggression is not coming anytime soon. Nice little raids with these super fast Terma. Try to run this one. Don't lose Terma if you don't have to. Got a couple oracles there, or relics. Nose of the Sphinx makes buildings more hit points. That's a good one. Somebody grab the other one. The other one is myth units have better crush armor. So of the two relics, why would he take that one? Why not get this one? Probably doesn't want to fight this here. He being Sensuy. But it does force out the snake, so now retreat. Retreat. Retreat, Sensuy. Some pretty big screw ups there from both players. There was no need for Magyar to cast Ancestors. And there was no need for Sensuy to sit there underneath all of those serpents, taking a losing fight. So both players kind of trade bad plays there, where Sensuy loses too much of his army, and Magyar wastes Ancestors. And now we've got these two siege towers slowly rolling across the desert expanse. We now have a little bit of a switch into Catapultes. This is a good idea. A lot of camels. The Catapultes will absolutely murder the camels, and they also get an attack bonus against siege towers. So now Sensuy should be able to handle this really easily. Just this army here, and even a few Murmillos mixed in. This army just really kind of hard stops what Magyar's got going on. Saw the Ancestors come up here and raid, but yeah, that's two God Bowers blown by Magyar, who's just way behind. I mean, Sensuy should look at the population difference. We're 79 pop to full pop. Sensuy just needs to go forward and attack. Oh, he saw those villagers for just a little bit. Wall this off would be a good idea. Yeah, these Terma are going to nowhere land. There's nothing up here. I think Sensuy was a little bit worried about a raid because the minions came up here, so he was anticipating a raid coming up, but there is no raid in the place for some reason. We have villagers on this gold mine when you've got this one down here. Eco upgrades, not looking good. Eco upgrades. Plow. Another standard of these times. Eco upgrades, especially Atlanteans. Yeah, don't get them. He's got plow. Sensei's being a little bit more like worried than he needs to be here. He could just come in and fight this or grab a town center. Okay, he's getting it now. And both players are trying to figure out what they're gonna do. But yeah, Easiest Best God is just, he's really stuck here with like nothing for quite a while now. Oh, there were no fundamentals. This was a very Age mythology. It evolved very slowly. Very slowly. It evolved. Part of it was due to the fact that there just was no player base after Age of Empires 3 came out. So in Age of Empires 3, when Age of Empires 3 came out in 2005, almost all the top players at that time moved on. So you had like this huge void. It's the time, the era of Age of Mythology that I refer to as the Dark Ages, because in my very humble opinion, after 2005, the skill level of Age of Mythology went down and did not increase until like 2010. So you had like almost 5 years of absolutely no progress in the game. Sensuy, like he should be aged up by now. Like nowadays on this map, your Aranos would be aged up to heroic easily by now. It would be easy. Oh, he is. I'm stupid. He's aged up already. He's aged up with all of these resources. Should be able to hold this. Citizens do so much damage to... Oh, this actually... You should just keep him here and pick off all of the reinforcements. But the citizens should be picking these towers off. There's only 2 siege units here. There's no reason for this town center to fall. Absolutely no reason at all. Should not have fallen. These termite here could come in and pick off some chariots. The downside is if he's targeting all of one unit with all these termite, there's so much wasted damage here. Yeah, they didn't do much with that. Yeah, and I don't know why Sensuy never ate these giraffes. That's a lot of hunt for Oasis. And right next to berries, too. I don't know why he didn't go to it. Now we have the Anubite is back. Sensuy doesn't know this. So, for some reason, completely unnecessary, Magyar is having a pretty huge comeback here. Because Sensuy has been floating so many resources and did not defend this town center against just 2 siege towers that are half dead. Could have easily kept his town center up. Army was on the wrong spot, like way over here or something. Magyar now grabbing this forward town center, and now suddenly Magyar went from what was a position that he should never have won into. I would say he's in a, but this Heat coming in could do some damage, but he's in a good spot now. He's in a good spot. Mercenaries were crazy strong, trained right away. He's using a monument here so that Tartarian Gate can't be cast here. I think the spot to use Tartarian Gate would just be down here. You know, put it here, split the army up from the villagers, and then Sensuy could kind of, you know, collapse, so to speak, on this side, because it would be tough for reinforcements to come through. Oh, now he wants the villager fight the siege that are like a mile away. And the decision comes in. Oh, Sensuy wanted to put the, I think he wanted to put the Tartarian Gate here. He ran forward. Oh man. Magyar could steal this. He can make his own. Oh, the chaos on the elephant. A lot of elephants. Maybe it's just me, but I think elephants are a little bit underutilized now. Players have really gotten out of the habit of making them, and I think elephants are still pretty decent. You just don't see them made anymore. A little better villager micro here would be nice. He's gonna lose this town center too. Oh, 2 town centers that neither of them should have gone down. Wow. And he can't even find out a spot to use. Now he's used. So instead of using it on the Migdal, let's just put it on the Siege Workshop. You could have just, they're close enough, you could have done them on, you could have done both buildings. I don't know. Does Sensuy have a chance now? He is like legit thrown this game completely. I would say maybe you go for like a Panic Titan, but he doesn't have the favor because he built 2 birds to go raiding. And he's going to have to steal this town center, I think, to have a chance. I mean, so I guess these guys are going to eventually kill the Migdal anyway, but the Tartarian Gate need not have taken any damage. Okay, the birds will get some damage in here. I mean, we've got, yeah, the Pharaoh Chronosaurus Rex II is going to come down here and intervene, I'm sure. A little bit of a raid coming down too. This is a nice little raid, as long as he can keep his base up, which we do have another shockwave available. We've got 5 citizens. Not much of an army here for Magyar anymore. You gotta be so careful with your villies. Get him. You're gonna lose a villager, I think. Hide it. Didn't lose a villager. Chronosaurus Rex died. This raid is doing a ton of damage. And Easiest Best God may have found out that he's overextended just a little bit here. Still at good population numbers. I can't believe he's not grabbing this town center. I think he's going to grab this one instead. Now I feel like the only way Magyar can loot... What? What is... Why is he sending this army down here? I guess he wants to clean this up. I think he could have... What is going on? He's got the pure siege army, the slowest army in the game possible is going on here. We've got the 7 siege towers by themselves. We've got the elephants down here. We're gonna send the axemen in against the Tartarian spawn. Shockwave against the towers. Okay, okay. Elephants are back here fighting all of these myth units, and I mean, he's gonna get the town center down. Mercenary spam to defend. So Sensuy's at 0 town centers here, but isn't in a terrible spot because look at Magyar's population count, and he's about to get blocked off of all this gold. In fact, he's hard gold blocked right now. Didn't kill the Tartarian gate. Not on any gold right now. This push will get stopped, especially with all these coming in, and yeah, we're throwing a lot of resources away here just to kill a few last buildings. And now Magyar is gold blocked, and it looks like the push is going to come in. It would be nice though, at least if you could pick off this fortress here, or palace. They're expensive, but I'm guessing Sensuy still has, yes, because Sensuy's not losing units right now. Taking some really good trades and just not losing units. Ooh. Magyar has a, maybe a gather point on this? Yes, he does. He has a gather point on this gold mine, so he just keeps funneling units to their doom. Bird here looks like it will get cleaned up. But now we've got... Oh, they're almost all dead, so... Non-raw chariots are actually a little bit sad. Not super good. But yeah, now Sensuy's pushing back. He's going to get his town center up. Pushing back up here is going to allow Magyar to get back on gold. And we finally had some villagers bum rush the Tartarian gate, so that's been taken care of. But the plot has thickened here. Oh, trap out all the chariots. Yeah, these chariots are gonna just get absolutely, yeah. Look how fast these mercenaries train. It's so broken. Probably should get like a destroyer or two and take down this town center. See, now actually, since going down to 1 town center, Sensui's actually played this fairly decently. That the push on all of this gold is really accomplishing so much for Sensuy. Magyar is really hurting at 190 population. 5 town centers to 1. I know of only one other person that has come back from a 5-to-1 town center deficit. Can Sensuy come back from a 5-to-1 town center deficit? He really needs to get one of these town centers down, though. He also really needs to fill his population space. He's got resources in the bank, but has no population. But yeah, killing a lot of villagers here. And yeah, gonna kill Chronosaurus Rex the 3rd. We'll come back to become the 4th, and this will be a good little raid here. Fanatic does well against villagers. Gets his attack bonus. And then these units can also run over and get an attack bonus. The only thing is, yeah, okay, oh, we got the destroyers coming out here. Very good. Got some villagers coming Are more units coming over here? This is a close game. This is a good one. As bad as the first one was that we watched, this one is intriguing me here. Very intriguing. A 5-1 town center advantage. And I think Magyar is going to have to abandon ship up here. And that's what he's doing. He is giving up this entire position because he does not have the economy right now, sitting at 0 gold. He could have just gone to like one of these town centers at one point, or one of these gold mine. Yeah, no fortified town center. You're right. No, Sensei's got it now. He just was so slow to get it. But yeah. The plot doth thicken here. I feel like at this point that Sensuy should legit win this game now. But there was a point where, I mean, already we're at the point where early on Sensuy should have won. He didn't take advantage. Magyar should have won once he got up to here, but just let all this happen. Which again we were kind of talking about earlier, the lack of walling. Imagine if he would have Magyar would have just put like 3 or 4 layers of walls here. All of these raids would probably never have happened, and he'd be in a completely fine position. Okay, so easiest best got is kind of abandoned ship, but now coming back to defend. But yeah, these chariots are not it here. Would have liked to maybe not have taken this big fight with the destroyers against the axemen over here. Yeah, the Terma absolutely hammer these chariots. Absolutely demolish them. Because the chariots here, your non-raw chariots aren't fast enough to dodge archer fire, so they get absolutely demolished by Terma, who are fast enough. At least the Uranos Terma are fast enough to dodge. Got trade route trying to be built, and very risky gold mining operations here. He's coming up here? What is the plan here? What is the plan? Well, the siege works. Whoa, look at all of this here. Sensuy really needs, yeah, Sensuy is like, I really need to protect this position because all my army is down here. The unupgraded axemen, also very sad. No upgrades at all. Medium Terma, I actually have a couple armory upgrades. Okay, here's the thing I'm really curious to see though. What are the eco upgrades gonna look like when I hit F1 here? Still just plow. Just plow. Why did he even build an eco guild? I guess his eco guild's dead, so maybe that's his excuse, but just plow. What do we got going on for Magyar? Plow, or he got irrigation and shaft pipe, but he's forgotten that he also gathers wood. And hand axe is a very important technology. It gives a very substantial upgrade. And yeah, he's making a lot of wood units. It would be so nice for him to have hand axe. Just plow. Here's the question. And I don't know how long this game's going to go, but it's going to go on for a little bit yet. Will Sensuy ever research another eco upgrade from the eco guild? I say no. I think no chance. There is not going to be another eco upgrade coming. He may if he gets a trade route, he may get the caravan upgrade. But I don't see another eco upgrade coming for Sensuy this game. Again, taking some nice fights here. These chariots. Oh. Sensei's done a nice job of picking these chariots with his Terma. Has done really well with that, but now needs to run back. I don't know why he's not grabbing a town center. Okay, now he is. All right. Yeah, Scorpion Man raid in on these villagers, but Sensuy knows it. Is heroizing a couple units here. Okay. He's got a few low hit point villagers here. But yeah, now he just loses. Yeah, two really low. Where'd the forward building units go? Oh, we just forward built a siege works. Villagers coming in to fight. Nice little dodging with the Terma. So that's why he needs to get more pop space. He needs to get more economy. And this is where lack of economy is going to hurt him so much here. Like if he had a normal eco upgrades, I mean, he'd be grabbing this town center right now. He'd have the resources to fund everything, but he can't. And that's given Magyar time to solidify. Like he was on the ropes here actually. And he's had time now to come back a little bit here and start doing some damage on his own. Wait, who's texting me? I don't know. Had a bit of a fight here. Sensuy was a little slow grabbing his town center. I think actually Sensuy's time here is maybe coming to an end. I mean, he's still fighting with just a medium Terma, which do decent against most of these units, just not the elephant. But Terma do alright against Axemen. Just because the Axemen have super low pierce armor, I mean only 14%. Yeah, Terma were very popular back in the day. And actually, I don't mind the Terma here. They just need some upgrades. Because the Terma really destroy the Chariot Archers, and they also do decent against the Axemen. The problem is just the lack of upgrades here. I mean, we've got medium Murmillo, and we've got your Terma that started with the medium. Need to kill these villagers off, though. There's not... Kill the Villies. Kill Chronosaurus Rex the 5th. Okay. Yeah, I was able to find some stuff. I realized, or I learned that Fortnite, for some inexplicable reason, takes up 80 gigabytes of space, and then I had like another 20 that were in old games that I uninstalled, but still had a ton of like app data. So yeah, I got it to where as good as it's gonna be. A lot of low hit point village. Oh, he's all in on these villas. Yeah, I think he's gonna get this though. There's not enough units, maybe? Destroyers are doing some work, but now the Axemen are killing destroyers. Do we have some more destroyers? Oh, he's getting the chariots. That's why he doesn't have resources though. And easiest best god does. Come on, don't let it get up. This one destroyer, you need another destroyer on this. The one destroyer, you could see these destroyers attacking actually take it down pretty substantially here. But Sensuy can't afford this. The fight's too thick, the fight's too heavy. And he can't get it. And I think that's gonna be probably it. I think now Magyar, yep, town center goes up. And that is it. GG, that's a fun one. A little back and forth there, action. A few of the giraffe, yes, we're watching the battle the whole game. A couple of them did die probably randomly. Looks like this one died right at the end as well. So you've got two giraffe that lasted the whole game in the midst of the battle. That was a fun one. It really shows. This is a good example of gameplay back then, where you have your two of your top players. Like Magyar would have been the best player in this era. Versus Sensuy, who would have been one of the top players as well. Probably, I don't know if Cyclone was still playing at this point, but if not, Sensuy would have been the best Aranos. And you can see that both players just left so much on the table as far as like just overall game plan and decision making. And did we ever get another eco upgrade? No eco upgrade, just plow. Did we ever get hand axe? No, didn't get hand axe. Well, that was a fun one. Let's take a look. This be some interesting things here going on. 5,000 resources up. So when did he lose this town center? 14, about 15 minutes he lost the town center. And at the 15-minute mark, he was 5,000 resources ahead. How are you losing your town center and getting pushed when you're 5,000 resources ahead? Should not happen. Hit max mills at 15 minutes, but lost those town centers inexplicably and was not able to come back from the 5 to 0, 5 to 1 town center. It was close. He had a chance there when he was all over that gold, but the lack of eco upgrades just kept Sensuy from being able to come back after his base was killed. And that was that one. So that was a fun game. Let's see